Hi everybody, it's me, Aunt Sharlene.
Another chocolate sundae.
Everybody, it's me, Aunt Sharlene.
Hi guys, it's Sharlene and I'm back tonight to give another movie review. I had a chance today to see Dearevanhansen. Originally it was a play on Broadway and it's now been adapted to a movie. The star is named benplatt. There are faces on there that you will recognize: Juliannemoore, amyadams, and the gentleman from Law and Order. I just don't remember his name and I didn't look it up before getting on here. But anyway, and and another young lady whom a lot of you will know, but I just don't know her name. You know, this is it was a play, like I said, and it's a play I wanted to see, and I procrastinated in seeing it, and now I'm sorry that I did, because I would have liked to have been able to compare the two. But nonetheless, I enjoyed this nonetheless. I'm not going to give it a grade. For me, it was somewhat of an emotional movie. I teared up several times while watching this movie. The gentleman, benplatt, he has one of the purest voices I've heard. And he could sing to me all day, every day. I mean, seriously. But I'm digressing. So, you know, the movie is about Evan. He's a teenage young man. They're all at high school, and Evan is having some issues mentally. He's suffering with anxiety, depression, I guess suicidal thoughts as well, and he's feeling alone, you know, which is something I think I could kind of relate to, from the aspect of feeling socially awkward at times, just not being surrounded by people but still feeling absolutely alone, still not feeling like I'm fully there. So I related to him from that aspect, and he was on medication, I'm not, but just to say that, to say, you know, it's unfortunate how many of us, or how many people, feel that way. Meanwhile, they're surrounded by loved ones, they're surrounded by just people who see them but they don't know they're seen. It's really something that makes me feel really sorrowful, to know that someone could feel invisible when they're really not, you know. But this is what part of this movie was about. There's another young man in the movie. His name is Connor, and he was disturbed as well, but he had no friends, or it appeared that he had no friends. And due to a misunderstanding about a letter that Evan had to write himself, Connor took the letter from him and ended up with it when he took his own life. You know, this is what I'm saying about people just being surrounded by other people and they feel so alone. It's kind of saddening, really. So anyway, what happens is, upon Connor's death, his parents discovered the letter and interpreted it to mean that Connor and Evan were friends, when in fact they were not. Right? So, you know, it was interesting to see how this whole thing snowballed, because Evan tried to tell them originally that, no, you know, he didn't write that letter to me. But you can see in the mother how she's just grasping at anything to have a connection to her son who is now gone. And in her grasping, partially, and Evan's desire to, I guess, people please to some extent, you see how what was, you know, I was gonna say what was a minor lie, but under the circumstances it wasn't minor, because the young man had passed, you know, he was dead. I think it would have been minor if he was still alive, you know, it's just a lie and it blows over, but in this case he was dead. So what appeared to be a minor lie snowballed into something that was on the level of devastation for all of the people involved. Because, you know, you're looking at this person who's making up stories as he goes along about a relationship of friendship. Let me just clarify that. A relationship of friendship that never existed. Not even in his mind up until that second. And you just see how so many people from this one lie got hurt. But another thing to point out is the young man who died, he had a sister, her name was Zoe. And, you know, for me, the scene after he passes, she's singing, talking, and she's saying, you know, pretty much, what am I shedding tears for? What am I mourning for? He wasn't a nice person. He wasn't a nice guy. He wasn't a good brother. And, you know, I couldn't help but feel like, yeah, you know something, Zoe? I hear you. Because you would find that when people pass, right, whether you know them or not, and another thing people like to say is, oh, he was larger than life. And I'm like, hold on. Yesterday you were cussing him out. Yesterday you couldn't stand him. Yesterday he was just some other guy or some other gal, you know. And for that I commended her, from the aspect of, you just kept it real. You kept your feelings real. This person was not nice, in my opinion, at that time, right? And yeah, I mean, what am I crying about? I don't get it, right? But obviously her feelings changed eventually. But I'm giving her commendation for that. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. This might be a long one. I made a little note. Let me see how social media affects our lives. Now, after he told this lie and everything started snowballing, all of a sudden he became the best friend to the person who died. So now everybody who didn't notice him before notices him now, and suddenly he has this following of people, of friends, and I'm using air quotes, I don't like to, but his following of friends, which was another lesson that a lot of us ought to learn, that, you know, you can have 1,000,000 people in your life, 1,000,000 gazillion people in your life, and when it's time to count who's your friend, you might just put up one hand. An actual friend, yeah, friend. Acquaintances, excuse me, are not necessarily friends. And another thing, a lot of people who follow and who subscribe and who things like that, you know, they may not necessarily be friends. You know, I say something on my channel all the time. I said, tell a friend, bring a friend, and let's all be friends. Because sometimes we need one another. Sometimes I've had conversations with strangers that I'm like, wow, you know, all because this person might have needed to listen, or somebody to listen to them for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes, just to listen. Now, I'm not saying I'm a saint, because I'm absolutely not, okay? And some days I'm very annoyed and don't want to be bothered, all right? I'm just saying, though, that the day somebody approaches you and you might be, oh my God, I don't want to talk. You never know. That person might have something they just want to get off their chest. I'm just saying, you know, because there are too many of us walking around thinking that there's no one to hear them. Sometimes it's just about active listening. It's not necessarily, even with your partner, you know, you might listen, but you're listening ready, with your mouth ready to tell them off. You know, you're listening quick to, oh God, let me just wait till she's finished talking and I'm going to tell her off. Or let me just wait till he's finished and I'm going to tell him about himself. And meanwhile, all that person needs is for you to just listen and hear them. Just hear them. Don't listen to react. Don't listen to respond, but listen to understand. And a lot of this movie was about that as well. Because the young man had a moment with his mother when she said, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know you were hurting like that. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional because sometimes it's not just about the person listening who doesn't understand. Sometimes the person in the situation as well can't articulate how they're feeling because they're so overwhelmed in that moment. But I think if it would help if you have someone who listens without judgment, you know, that they make you comfortable enough to trust them, to talk to them. All right. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Let me see what else is here. Yeah, this social media, how it affects our lives. You know, yeah. When at some point there was some miscommunication and the people started to attack on social media the family of the young man who, you know, ended his life, and they were completely distraught, and which just lets us know that the opinion of others, sometimes we allow people's opinions to really dictate our lives and to dictate our happiness and our sadness and our self-worth and everything else that gives us identity. You know, when did it become that someone could hide behind a screen or a phone or something and tell you about yourself? They know you from a hole in the wall, all right? But they have this opinion that listen, people can have an opinion. You can have an opinion about what I'm telling you right now and turn me off because you don't want to hear it. And that's all right. That's all right. That's fine. Because that's how you feel. Just like I'm giving my opinion now. But I'm saying, when did someone's opinion, somebody you don't know, may never know, may never meet, when did that person's opinion dictate how much value you have on you? When? You know, and this is the thing. We're living in a society now where we're so dependent on what someone else says, where someone goes, how they vacation, how they this, how they that, what they own, what they don't have, and we're like comparing our lives to someone else. You know, personally, I have social anxiety, me personally. At least it's something I say. I know if my father looks at this, he's going to say, I don't know why you talk like that about yourself. Okay, Dad. When I said it, I shouldn't have said it. There are moments when I am anxious about situations. I cleaned that up real well, right, Daddy? I know. But anyway, and I have a brother, right? And he is, oh my God, the social butterfly like you would not believe. He would enter the room and he doesn't know anybody. And when he leaves the room, he has everybody's number. And I find that admirable, but it's not who I am. But at the same time, I also find it like, man, that must be nice. You know, that must be real nice. To be able to just not feel that anxiety, not care about the opinions of others necessarily, not be so concerned about anything that you're afraid. Yeah, I guess he's somewhat fearless, you know, which is really nice. And we all, he likes to call himself an ambivert, by the way. I call him an extrovert, he says. Anyway, but you know, if we could all be like that, we can't all be the same. Agreed? We're not all the same. There's no perfection in anything, right? I feel like I'm kind of going on a tangent, but the point I was making is that we can't allow people's opinions of us to be the be-all and end-all. At some point, we have to be our greatest cheerleader, our own cheerleader, the person that says, you got this, you got it, Don't worry about anything or anybody. And when I say this, I just want you all to know I'm not just speaking to you all. I'm speaking to myself as well. Because I was honest when I said that I sometimes have moments of awkwardness and anxiety. And it's very debilitating at times. It can be. Because there's this moment when I don't want to do this. I'm afraid. I speak it out loud, but and it might come off as being shy, perhaps, to some people who don't know me. Or it might come off as me just being somebody who doesn't want to participate or partake. But it's so much deeper than that. And sometimes you just want someone to understand you. And sometimes you just want someone to just be there with you. And not make you feel embarrassed about how you feel about things. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. Sometimes you just want to just be, you know? But anyway, sorry. Let me see what else. Throughout this whole movie, like I said, it started with a lie that snowballed. Throughout this entire movie, I found myself just waiting for the other shoe to drop, because the lie could not perpetuate. It couldn't. No lie really ever does. Even if it comes to light after your death, it's gonna come to light, right? So I just kept waiting for the shoe to drop, because at some point, this young man, Evan, just so I'm clear, I don't believe his intentions were bad at all. Like I said, I believe he was a people pleaser. So he was trying. He saw this woman feeling what she felt, and then he got involved with the family, and he started to feel what he wanted. Some people around him who loved him, because his mother worked a lot, so she wasn't around a lot. Plus, his parents were divorced. So, you know, he was seeing a family, mother, father, a family, a child, a son who's now gone. But he saw something that he had always wanted. And at some point, you know, his heart was still... It's not my place to judge anybody's heart, but I think his heart was probably in the right place. So when he eventually told the truth, it was... it was devastating to even look at, because you saw how people, like I said, the mother was just grasping for any kind of straw, any kind of anything of her son, you know. And here's this young man now coming to say that everything I told you was a lie. It was kind of really devastating. Let me just go on to say, I made a couple notes purposely because there are things I wanted to speak on and not correcting wrongs. Okay. The good part about this is that Evan, even though he did not know Connor, after what he had done, he decided to try to get to know him. Posthumously, I think is the word I'm looking for. And he reached out to people who he thought might have known him. And in a way, he did find out something for the family about Connor, and he corrected his wrongs. So this is what I'm saying. I don't think his heart was in the wrong place. I think his heart was absolutely in the right place. And he just corrected his wrongs. There was some forgiveness happening. This movie was, in my opinion, this whole story from start to end was quite complete. You know, it started with someone having problems he couldn't fix his problems, but he tried to work with his problems, and he did some wrong, and then he corrected it, and then you see the forgiveness. And it was just, in my opinion, somewhat of a whole movie. It did not leave me hanging. Yeah, it didn't leave me hanging at all. It started nicely and it ended nicely, and it felt very complete. And you know, you can't help but like Evan. Even as you see him lying And as you see how horrible it's becoming, there's just something that you still like about him. You know, he has a likability. I don't know if it's, again, the emotional aspect, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what more I could say about it. Benplatt acted the heck out of that role. Just saying. He was pretty good. And like I said, he could sing to me all day, every day. Everybody else who sang were pretty good as well, but there's a purity to this man's voice that I can't express. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to put a little clip of his of the song that I loved the most. You Will Be Found. The lyrics to that song are so deep. It's just, oh my goodness, it is exquisite and relatable. You know, not everybody might be able to understand what it's like to be anxious at times, or what it's like to be depressed. I have had conversations with people who have said things like people who commit suicide or who commit suicide are weak. And I think that's just such a blasphemous thing to say. And I know blasphemous may not be the right word in the sense of suicide and looking at it from a religious standpoint, but I say that to mean, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you judge someone's feelings? You know, who are you to tell somebody how deeply they feel about something? And in a moment of depression, you're really not thinking. You're just in a sunken hole. There's nothing about being strong, being weak. If you, I hate to use these words, strong and weak in this sense, but if you're strong enough to reach out to someone or to pull yourself out of that hole, then, you know, good for you. But sometimes some people really are having a tough time, and I don't think it's my place or anybody's place to determine what their state of mind is, you know. But anyway, if you know somebody who is depressed, you know, reach out. It's not gonna kill you to reach out, because you never know. The day you do might be the day they needed it the most. Alright? So anyway, this was my review of Dear Evan Hansen. I'm still very sorry I never saw the play. I would have loved to hear this guy sing live. Oh my god. It's just beautiful. But anyway, remember to tell a friend, bring a friend, let's all be friends. Share this review if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel. And especially now that I've seen this movie, I say it over and over and over again. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, because it's tough sometimes. You know, it's tough sometimes, and that's to everybody, not just. I'm not speaking randomly, but I'm just speaking randomly. Sorry, what's wrong with me tonight? I don't know, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm speaking randomly. This is for everybody. Love yourself, because I know today you have one emotion, tomorrow you have another. It's almost like Inside Out. They just, I don't know if you saw that movie, Inside Out. Is it Inside Out? Yeah. Where you have all these emotions and they're all competing for center stage. And, you know, there's just some things that sometimes we just need a moment. But yeah, I'll say it again, if you know anybody who might need your help, just to talk to sometimes, and don't talk to respond, just talk to for them to speak. All right, give them a safe place. All right, like I was saying, I talked a lot, right? But anyway, love yourself. All right, love yourself. Bye, guys.